consumer expert at Insight with Passion. Afternoon, Kate.
Hi, good afternoon.
I mean, it's gone on for a while now. So what kind of conversations do you think are going on behind the scenes about how it's going to affect M&S going forward?
I think we've got to take a minute and just a beat to look at the journey that Marks and Spencers have been on, because there has been this rebuild in terms of the brand, its trust, its positioning. It's really the comeback king of the year. And we've seen so many accolades awarded to their success, their financials. And they're seeing that growth, not just on the food department, which we know has always been a bellwether for the organisation, but areas where they've struggled, like fashion. And that's really where I think the impact's going to be felt, because you're quite right to point out, the longer this goes on, the more people start making purchase decisions elsewhere in a critical time of selling. And in addition to that, people obviously are linking their nervousness maybe around online with how they can trust M&S in future episodes of keeping their data safe, be there an issue or not, because of course it does strike that chord of actually I am vulnerable as a customer as I am a retailer online.
And the profile of an M&S shopper, this may well, I don't want to generalise, but, you know, they may have taken some convincing to go online down the years.
I completely agree with you. Of course, M&S are on a huge impact schedule to try and create new customers, perhaps younger customers, shoppers who haven't been through the door before. They've launched into TikTok. They've got an amazing 2.2 million followers on Instagram. But at the same time, they have a traditional customer who I know perhaps might only shop with M&S or very few trusted brands online, because the idea of it, they're digital nervous and they're not used to all of the challenges on a day in, day out basis that the internet and digital and apps create. So I think that idea that I know M&S, I can trust them, I feel safe there in that environment, that shopping world, might have actually set a few people back on that digital discovery route, because you know you want to feel like your very precious bank details, etc., all safe. Now I must highlight again, as you've heard from Peter there, we've been told by M&S quite clearly, and what I thought was a well-drafted statement at the end of last week, your data, your information is safe. But it's been a few days since we've heard from that. If you do go onto the social accounts, there's not much really happening there other than a very small message. And I think it's high time now that the organisation comes out again with a reassurance piece, because this all leads to the brand equity and the opportunity going forwards ahead of whatever this situation might be.
And just finally, Kate, as you mentioned, people could, you know, in this window think, OK, I'll go elsewhere. And a lot of M&S's competitors have been quick off the mark, haven't they, offering offers and the like to get people to switch?
I have monitored this all weekend, because I thought if your competition is challenged, it's the best time to strike. And we have seen some major fashion retailers particularly go all out with either discount or immediate deliveries, or we also saw drops with the likes of Zara and H&M of some fashion collaborations that they've created this week. Of course, that would be pre-planned. But if you're going to shop on a sunnier weekend for your summer wardrobe ahead, maybe you give M&S the benefit of the doubt last weekend. You come up to the second weekend, you want to spend. That's going to be really challenging, because we see that as once that's spent, it's probably long gone. You know, you don't get that opportunity back, and it will really have hurt M&S financially and potentially that bruising of their brand as well, as they have to then cajole back and build trust in that consumer base.
Good to have you on the programme, Kate. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks.